since we have a quorum, I'm going to go ahead and start by calling the meeting to order, and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation,
under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice
for all.
Ms. Stanforth, may we have a roll call?
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Hairston.
Present.
Mr. Williamson.
Present.
Mr. Corrado.
Present.
Ms. Hurd.
Present.
Mr. Hoagie.
Present.
Ms. Howard.
Present.
Mr. Lumpkin.
Present.
Ms. Matthew Stinson.
Here.
Mr. Weckesser.
Here.
Thank you. We have 9 of 9.
Thank you. So I can declare a quorum for this meeting. At this point, according to our bylaws, we do need approval of the consent agenda. Are there any requested changes to the agenda? Hearing none, the agenda is accepted as presented. The minutes of the meeting of May 5th, 2020 were presented for review to all board members prior to today's meeting. Unless there is any board member who requests a reading of the minutes, I will ask if there are any corrections or additions to the minutes as presented. Hearing no requests for a reading of the minutes nor any corrections or additions, the minutes stand approved as presented. Next on the agenda are the committee reports. Mr. Lumpkin.
Thank you. Everyone, you can hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. The Finance and Personnel Planning Committee held a teleconference meeting on May 21st. As a result, the Finance Committee is recommending 3 actions for the board's consideration. All 3 are considered essential to the delivery of transportation services to the public. Action item number 2, Luminator Technology Group Incorporated equipment. This request is for 15 sets of Luminator Technology equipment for the 15 bus order next-gen buses for the Greater Dayton RTA. This is the same video camera equipment RTA has in the rest of our buses. The system was originally purchased in February 2016 at the cost of $3,185,188 and has been added to over the last 4 years. This procurement is being brought to the board at this time because it supports the core value, RTA's core value of safety for our customers and employees. Mr. Brown provided a detailed explanation at our meeting, and supporting information is included in the packet today, and he's available to answer any questions the board may have at this time. Hearing none, based upon the recommendation of the committee, I move that the Board of Trustees approve a contract award to Luminator Technology Group Incorporated for the products listed in the total amount of $150,195.
This is Adrienne Hurd. I second the motion.
It has been properly moved and second that action item number 2, Luminator Technology Group Incorporated equipment, be approved. Question. All in favor say aye. No, roll call, please. All in favor say aye with a roll call.
Ms. Hairston.
Yes.
Williamson.
Yes.
Corrado.
Yes.
Hurd.
Yes.
Hoagie.
Yes.
Howard.
Yes.
Lumpkin.
Yes.
Matthew Stinson.
Yes.
And Mr. Weckesser. And Mr. Weckesser.
He's on.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
We have 9 yeses.
Okay. Action item number 2 is approved.
Action item number 3, third-party claims management. RTA is seeking a third-party administrator with an on-staff attorney to assist in the proactive and aggressive management of RTA's self-insured and state-funded workers' compensation claims. This procurement is consistent with RTA's core value of stewardship. The successful administrator will handle all claims management services required. Examples are assistance in determining compensatability, coordinating independent medical examinations, and legal representation at administrative hearings. Mr. Cole provided a detailed explanation at our meeting, and the supporting information is included in the package. Chris is available for any questions the board may have at this time. Hearing none, based upon the recommendations of the committee, I move that the Board of Trustees approve a 3-year contract award with 2 one-year options to Hunter Consulting Company for third-party claims management as follows. Year 1, 2, and 3 at $45,600 each for a total of $136,800. Option years 1 and 2 at $48,000 each for a grand total award of $232,800.
This is Adrian. I will second the motion.
Action item number 3 has been properly moved and second. Are there any questions? May we have a roll call for those in favor?
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Hairston.
Yes.
Williamson.
Yes.
Corrado.
Yes.
Hurd.
Yes.
Hoagie.
Yes.
Howard.
Yes.
Lumpkin.
Yes.
Matthew Stinson.
Yes.
And Weckesser.
Yes.
Thank you. We have 9 yeses.
Action item number 3 has been approved, the third-party claims management.
And action item number 4, revised facilities code of conduct. The RTA has used the facilities code of conduct since January 2004 to establish reasonable standards of behavior for persons using our facilities. Historically, the code has been used by RTA employees, the Dayton Police, the Dayton City prosecutors to warn trespass, and in some cases prosecute persons engaged in disruptive or unlawful activities while on RTA property. Mr. Donahue provided a detailed explanation of the revisions at our committee meetings, and the supporting information is included in the board package. And Mark is available for any questions the board may have at this time. Hearing none, based upon the recommendation of the committee, I move that the Board of Trustees approve the revised facilities code of conduct. Furthermore, the Chief Executive Officer is authorized to publish appropriate legal notices and post the code within RTA facilities.
This is Adrian. I will second the motion.
It has been properly moved and second that action item number 4, revised facilities code of conduct, be approved. Question. May we have a roll call for the vote?
Yes. Hairston.
Yes.
Williamson.
Yes.
Corrado.
Yes.
Hurd.
Yes.
Hoagie.
Yes.
Howard.
Yes.
Lumpkin.
Yes.
Matthew Stinson.
Yes.
And Mr. Weckesser.
Yes.
We have 9 yeses.
Thank you. Action item number 4 has been approved. revised facility code of conduct.
Okay, the final, it's not the final. We will continue to do business. Financial update. At our meeting, Ms. Stample has provided the following financial highlights. Year to date, April 2020 indicates a gain of $2,450,787 after local capital depreciation charge. This gain is primarily due to the funding we have received from the federal government as part of the CARES Act. RTA will use these funds to subsidize the operations with the loss of revenue we are facing. We expect the decline in revenue to continue in the coming months. Staff will continue to monitor and report the impacts of the COVID-19 crisis. The April 2020 financial reports are included in today's package. And that's going to conclude my report, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Lumpkin. The next item on the agenda is the Planning Committee. Ms. Howard.
Yes, good afternoon. The Finance, Personnel, and Planning Committees met for a jointly held meeting on May 21st. And while we do not have any action items to bring before you, we do have important updates to provide. At the committee meeting, Mr. Brandon Polachicchio provided a summary document of recent activities in the Customer and Business Development Department. Mr. Polachicchio stated that RTA's new payment system, Tap Pay, launched on May 21st. With Tap Pay, customers now have the ability to purchase passes via the Transit app on their smartphone with a debit or credit card. Customers can activate the pass immediately before boarding and show the pass to the driver. Since launching on May 21st, over 700 passes have been purchased by over 400 customers. This is a big step towards RTA's new cashless onboard fare system scheduled to be installed this summer and released in the fall. Other updates included how the RTA is assisting others during the COVID-19 crisis, such as RTA's partnership with Dayton Public Schools to offer free rides to Dayton Public School students, parents, and guardians to schools for food distribution outlets. The free rides are available every Wednesday between 7 a.m. and 2 p.m. RTA is also partnering with the Dayton VA Medical Center in an effort to support veterans. Once a week, veterans can contact the VA and ride one of the RTA's routes to the VA Medical Center, and VA staff will come on board the bus and deliver food to the veteran in their time of need. In addition, the RTA call center made over 400 calls this past month, speaking to and checking in on Connect paratransit customers who are not traveling or traveling less due to COVID-19. Overall, everyone seemed in good spirits and was thankful for RTA reaching out. This concludes my report, Madam President, and I will be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Ms. Howard. Are there any questions? All right, hearing none, we'll ask for Mr. Donahue's report.
Thank you, Madam President. Just a couple items to report to you. As I continue to say, our employees are doing a great job each day out there throughout the pandemic and the more recent crisis here locally. And we can't thank them enough, and we continue to get out and do that as much as we can personally. Both they and our customers, we're finding, this is interesting on the pandemic side, every day I see less and less personal protective equipment being worn. We continue to encourage people to do it, but I think we'll see that slowly start to go away, and that's too bad. We did get a little bit of good news today. I forwarded it earlier. The ridership is slowly starting to come back. I think it'll be definitely a swoosh curve on our part, not a V curve in terms of the return of ridership, but that will happen. I know a number of you are interested in hearing what may have happened related to the protest here in the last few days. We were able to continue full service throughout the event that started over the weekend. On Saturday night, late Saturday night through the entire day of Sunday, we did end up when the police closed the streets in downtown Dayton, we moved basically our hub operation to the job center parking lot, and that worked relatively well. We did encounter one event where we had a bus window shattered. There were no injuries on the bus. And over the weekend, in the last few days, we also transported at least 2 loads of police officers out to Beaver Creek to support the efforts out there with crowd control. And then Monday morning, we reopened our hub downtown, and it's been open ever since. There have been some communication issues that have been challenges for us between the city and the county regarding the street closures and some short notices. And then the county became concerned as well about our use of the job center. And I spoke to the county administrator and I explained to him our frustration of not being in the loop on some of the decisions that were being made. And by the end of the conversation, Mr. Colbert made sure that we would get we used to have a seat on the county emergency management operation. We will now have a seat there again, and we'll be deciding who will sit in that seat for future events. So that's a good thing. So all in all, I think, we did as good as we could considering the circumstances, and it went really well. Beyond that, we still continue our work to advocate. For funding. It's actually been a busy couple weeks for me at the federal level. And just so you know, this is my current take based on the lobbyists I've been working with, that the Senate will likely ignore the House bill called the HEROES Act. But interestingly, this week, the Senate made it clear that they intend to write their own bill. At first, we had sensed there would not be a second stimulus or relief bill, but it now looks like there may be one, and it would be significant in size. So that's something we're working on as well. We understand that tomorrow, the House will actually release its proposal for the reauthorization of the Transit Act for the next 6 years. And my understanding is it's something that all of our coalitions are going to want to support based on the numbers in it. Of course, we'll see what happens when that gets to the Senate. Then tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to be on a conference call with the leaders of the bus coalition and the committee staff for the House Transportation, Housing, and Urban Development Committee to talk about funding levels on the reauthorization, the HEROES Act, and the possible Senate action. The big question I keep having is, how are we going to pay for all this? But as long as they keep sending checks, we intend to continue cashing them. And right now, that looks relatively good. So that's my report, unless there are questions.
Mark, this is Sharon Howard. I just want to say I join you in the frustrations of what happened with the street closures. I had to get the city on the phone on Sunday because unbeknownst to us, I thought that they had blocked off the streets around downtown. They had closed off the exit coming off of I-75 at Edwin C. Moses. They had barricades on Main Street, and we could not get EMS vehicles into the hospital with people who needed care. And they had to be rerouted to Miami Valley North, and the city had not alerted us at all. So I join you in the frustration. I called the city asking them for a meeting to discuss what that looks like going forward, but it became a safety issue for us. We had physicians who had difficulty getting into the hospital. It was a mess.
Amen. I think my hope is when everything starts to the debriefing phase, that a lot of those concerns, will get addressed. And I think in the long run, they need to realize that there is a lot of public and private infrastructure that should be at the table and have a voice, when the decisions get made.
Thanks for your report. Any other questions? We'll move on to old business. I don't believe I had any old business. Is there any new business? And I didn't ask before we started, do we have anyone there for public comment?
We do not.
Oh, okay, great. So I don't have
Everyone's
to,
happy this month.
I don't have to do that then. Okay. The next thing on the agenda is announcements. Board members, you have any announcements? Let's start with me. I don't have an announcement. I just hope and pray that things clear up soon. And I hope that the level of nervousness and upsetness I have goes away, as well as for the rest of the country. Mr. Williamson, do you have anything?
No, ma'am, I do not.
Okay, Mr. Corrado.
No, ma'am. I heard you.
Did we lose Sharon?
I think we might have lost Sharon.
Yeah.
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 I think so.
Dave, you want to step in and take over until she's back on?
Anybody who has any announcements on the board, speak up or forever hold your peace.
I just have one because I'm not there in public, and I did it for my son. This Saturday, I would like for you all to wish my baby girl Asina a happy birthday. She will be 9 years old on Saturday.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. This is Adrian.
Okay.
I continue to be impressed by the originality and dedication of our staff in times like this, to continue the efforts that they're putting forth. It shows that they are essential to our city. So thank you again to our staff, and that's all of our staff.
I echo that, and also again repeat how impressed I am with our PSA promo that's running on TV. That is really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hearing no further comments, and in our Madam President's absence, I will announce that this meeting is adjourned, but also would remind board members of upcoming meetings. June 16th, committee meeting, July 7th, board meeting. And until you hear otherwise, those meetings are still currently scheduled.